All right, so let's talk about writing copy. So here I got some questions, and these are some sample questions. I got eight that students might come up with, and then I got some responses. So, how long have you lived in Riverbank? When did you move here? And then the response I got was, and this I actually interviewed a student. So this person said about 17 years, mostly my whole life. Number two, what's your favorite subject in school? Video games. Number three, Uh, what do you do in your free time? Research on like ways to improve. I'm making video games and doing yearbook drawing mostly. Number four, if you could choose a superpower, what would it be? A lot of them have drawbacks to them. Like if I were to get super speed, there's a likely chance I could catch on fire. Super strength is self explanatory. And immortality, I think it will just affect my mental state rather than benefit. What is your favorite thing to binge watch? Shows like Murder Drones, Digital Circus, or maybe some other like kid movies like Kung Fu Panda. What's your comfort food? Definitely pizza rolls. What do you hope to do after you graduate high school? Be able to go to college and learn how to make a fully functional and playable video game. Who do you think has influenced you most in your life? My friends, my parents, and a lot of YouTubers that used to watch as a kid, and that's it. Okay. So what's the problem with this interview? The problem is, and I got kind of a similar one here when I asked ChatGPT, I got very simple one word answers for a lot of these. And I didn't elaborate. I didn't ask the student to elaborate. I didn't ask them to go on or give me reasons why. And so my questions all felt a little bit, I don't know, like how could I write a story about this? I could maybe pull some stuff together and write a little story about the student and kind of say what he's into, but it's not the most interesting story. And part of the reason why is because I didn't really think of a theme for these questions. I don't really have a purpose for these questions. So then I came up with some other questions that actually have a little bit more of like they're pointed. They are specifically trying to get to something. So in this one, my theme is what inspires you to do better. So the first question, who in your life would you say has had the biggest influence on you that you know, like a teacher, parent, sibling, coach? What did they do that inspired you to be better? Now, this person who answers it is going to have to think about it for a second, and they're going to have to give you a pretty elaborate answer. Um, Number two, who's a celebrity or someone that you don't know that you admire? What do you admire about them? Three, what motivates you to do well in school? Four, what do you hope to achieve in your life after high school? What career path do you wish to pursue? Five, what will you need to do in order to reach that goal? Six, how do you think the people you chose for the first questions, these two questions, and you can remind them while you're asking them, have pushed you to achieve that goal? Number seven, what would you like to say to the people who motivated you? Like, thank you for doing that or whatever. Number eight, what advice would you give to other students who have dreams after high school? So here I can write a story that's all related to my theme because my questions go along with it. So I'm thinking about that ahead of time. And none of these questions, well, a couple of them are one word answers. Most of them are going to require a pretty long, elaborate explanation. So I came up with some better questions here, but these also are kind of just getting to know the person. And then in this slide, I kind of gave you a poorly written story. And it starts off, Samantha said she has lived in Riverbank her whole life. So right off the bat, we don't have an intro. We've just jumped right into what Samantha said. Also, if Samantha said this, why don't we have a quote? Why am I saying what she said? Sometimes we can do that, but we want to use quotes as much as possible. I asked her, now this is my biggest pet peeve, do not do this. We don't want to know about you, the interviewer. We want to know about the person you're interviewing. So don't say, I asked the question or when she was asked. Just say what she said. Don't go into some preamble about what you asked her. It also ends right here. She said her mom always pushes her and cares. Okay, we don't have a conclusion to this paragraph. That's just another fact. There's a lot of spelling errors and some other issues. the quotes aren't used correctly. Let's take a look at a better written story. So now we've broken it up into 3 paragraphs. We have a clear intro, we have a conclusion. There's a few errors still, but this is what you want your first draft to look like. And then finally, I took this same story and I made it a little bit more interesting. I put some humor in it. Let's look at this last sentence. Quiet, thoughtful, and determined, Samantha Cabreros is ready to take on the future with confidence, care, and most likely a well-stocked snack drawer. And so we're going into our voice. We've broken it up into paragraphs that break down. Each section has its own theme. So this paragraph is about growing up in Riverbank, and this one's about her academics. This is more about her hobbies and her free time. We have an intro, and we have a conclusion. So when we talk about a title for this, here are some not great examples. Samantha Cabreros. The life of Samantha Cabreros. Who is Samantha Cabreros? Here are some that are a little bit more interesting because they draw information out of our writing. Games, cheese, college dreams, vibing through senior year, hometown dreams. And this is about stuff that she actually talks about in her interview. So again, this was the first time I asked, and this was being asked to elaborate. So when I said, hey, how long have you lived in Burbank? When did you move here? And they said, my whole life, I've always lived here. I would then say, oh yeah, what do you mean? I mean, I've just always been here. So I don't really know anything different. So it just feels normal. We're looking for enough so that we can actually pull some quotes. And this is a really good guide for how you can write. We're going to start off with a strong lead, a lead-in sentence, opening sentence of the paragraph, but also you can do leads before anytime you do a quote. Grab their attention. You should kind of introduce the whole topic or paragraph, whatever that section is about. Use quotes effectively. We want to use quotes every couple of sentences. So we start with the number 1, then we go to number 2, a quote. Then we do a follow-up to the quote. Explain what they said, talk about it, give some more information about it. Add some transitions. So after your quote, lead into the next idea. You don't always need transitions. At the end of each paragraph, you should have one if you're doing multiple paragraphs. Or if you're tying 2 different ideas. But if you're jumping from one idea to another, you want to transition. And then just repeat the pattern. Lead, quote, follow-up, transition. Or just these 3. Transitions only, again, when you're switching subjects. End with a strong closing. Wrap it up with a reflection, lesson, or forward-looking statement. Like, quiet, thoughtful, determined, Samantha's ready to take on the future. Or something more interesting than that. Add your own voice to it. Add some humor to it. Make it interesting. Remember, these are high school students. They don't read a lot. The stuff that they do read is like pretty short and simple articles, stuff you see on Instagram and TikTok, Reddit. So think about how you can make this fun and engaging for students. Okay, that's pretty much it. Good luck.